Another project that's lingering around the yard is this. This is a 66, obviously, Karmann Ghia. This is exactly how I found it. I've done nothing other than bring it home. And I've actually only opened the door once or twice just to show it to people. So I can't even remember what all's in here. But pretty cool. Looks like some new wheels in the back there. Or at least one anyway. Oh no! What is that? Is this another high back? Yeah. Another, it's in pretty bad shape. The bottom. And what the heck? And another back. I wonder where the keys are. I know I have them, but I don't know what I did with them. Okay. So anyway, first things first. I don't even know if this thing runs. Haven't given it a try. Get the engine lid open. We'll take a look at that. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's getting harder to crouch it down than it used to be. Anyway. This is still a 6-volt motor, which is going to prove to be a challenge. I do not have a 6-volt battery. Look at that. I don't know what that's about. Is that the... No, here's the positive. I don't know what that's for. I do not have a 6-volt battery. I do know, I've known many people who've used a 6-volt starter on 12 volts. It'll make the engine spin fast, and you don't want to probably live like that, but it can crank the motor over a couple times without doing lasting harm. So I can put a 12-volt battery in to crank the motor over. I do know that well, it wasn't when I pulled it in here. It might actually be in gear, but the motor was not locked up when we brought it home about 2 months ago. I'm fairly certain nothing's happened since then. So just turning the motor over, it's not going to tell us much. We want to see if this baby starts. Problem is, this coil has to get 6 volts. And if we put 12 volts through that, it's going to explode. I've had one do it before, and we're not going to do that. Anyway, I have a DC power supply that I can crank down to 6 volts and plug in long enough to just to see if it starts up, which is what we want to know. Because if it runs, then we're going to do the brakes and we're going to drive it exactly like it is. If it doesn't run, obviously it's a bigger project. So, first thing I got to do is I want to unhook the power. So here's what I'm going to do. The only thing that needs to be hooked to the battery is the starter. So I'm going to go under and I'm going to unhook the the ring terminal on the starter, and I've got one of those remote push button things. So I'll hook the battery up to the starter and the starter alone, and then I'll unhook this, which is my power, to the coil and the carb. So I have to undo this and get me a jumper to go to the carb. Actually, that's for the choke. Well, also for the idle cutoff. So we will need power for that. Hook the power straight to here, put a jumper to it on the power supply. Let's see what happens. I gotta get under this thing and hook up some cables, so it's not gonna be a whole lot of room for you down there with me. And we'll come back in once we have some cables, leads coming out. Okay, so I got a lead wire coming off of the starter to the hot. Got a jumper from the negative to the old ground strap. I tried to turn this over by hand. I couldn't. I don't know if it's stuck or if I'm just weak, which is believable. I didn't feel like taking this cover off to put the wrench on to try and turn that. When if I could turn it, I gotta hook all this stuff up anyway. So I just skipped this step. The two terminals on the starter are hooked up to a push button. So we are about to find out together whether or not this thing is locked up. And I did check, and I didn't feel like it was in gear. Well, I guess we'll find out. That's unclimatic. One of this ground is not good enough. Let's see here. Or the motor's locked. That's negative. Negative. I don't know where else I could ground this thing. It's on the ground strap. What better place is there? Guess I'm going to pull this off so I can stick a wrench on it. Go get a screwdriver. Well, getting that off actually wasn't any work at all. Should have just did that in the first place. Alright, let's see if she's locked up. I know I turned this thing by hand, but maybe I'm tripping. No, there we go. A little snug, but she went. Let's try it again. Alright, maybe I got a wonky connection underneath. Let me check it out. Alright, so there's no room under there, but I pulled the starter out. No room for you, I mean. Pulled the starter out. Bumped it a couple times. It was kind of stuck, so I just kept bumping it. I got it to free up, and it wasn't popping out. Anyway, so I got it to free up, and it was working. So now we got everything hooked back up. Let's see if it's strong enough to turn the motor over. Really? I hooked the ground to the exhaust. Maybe that wasn't good enough. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. Climb back under there again. Alright, let's go again. Pulled it back out again. Checked all the connections. This time the ground strap is actually on the transmission, so let's see. Ah! Oh, there we go. Hold up. Alright, so now we need 6 volts. Oh, I need a stupid jumper cable. 6 volts and gas. And let's see what, I wonder if this thing's sparking. Oh no! What? No! No! Bummer. Alright, we are ready. We got the, well, Battery's hooked up to the starter. Where's my button? Yep, good. 6 volts going to the coil and the shutoff. You heard it click when it come on, and I got it where I think it should be for top dead center. Of course, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Now we need to put a little... I hate these stupid red gas cans. They made them so dummy proof that now normal people can't use them either. That should be plenty. Last time I did this, I got it pelted with exhaust trash. Well, this time we're going to sit off to the side a little. Alright, here we go. Okay. Did this loose enough that I could adjust it some. I feel like that should be turning faster. 12 volts going through a 6 volt starter, but I don't know. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. Guess we should check and see if we're getting spark. Because that will absolutely make a difference. Let's see. Nope, no spark. Alright. Make sure the power's off. If you haven't been juiced by one of these before, it's exciting. Alright. Stuff. Oh, she's sparking now. Okay, good. Now she's sparking. I wonder if I got enough juice left in the battery to give it another try. Everything's lit up. Oh, it's trying. It's trying. Oh, come on. I was trying. Shoot. I was wasting the battery on dumb stuff. Alright. Let me get my charger. Hopefully it works. I had an incident the other day. Pretty sure that's not supposed to look like that. Alright, try this again. Whatever try this makes it. Power. Now we got the battery charger hooked up. We got a rotor button. Let's do it. Oh, come on. Come on. A little more juice. Crank that charger up just a little bit. Alright. That timing's got to be off a little. Yeah. That was something. Oh, I said I was going to check the timing. Let me look into that. I have a 2-notch. Okay, I'm convinced the timing is close enough. Close enough that it should start. May not run right, but it should start. Let's see what happens. trying. Oh man, he wants to. Let me put you down here. That feels less. Alright, let's see, I want to fill this carb up. Let's see. I could probably pull that hose off and do the siphon trick. Nice. Alright, like I said, couldn't help myself. Hooked the carburetor up to a siphon. Let's just see what happens. Unbelievable. Well, it runs. I'm sure I gotta replace fuel lines and, well, I was sure I'd have to rebuild the carb too. Maybe not. This thing might be a diamond in the rough here. Okay, well, let's just see what's next, I guess. Try to find me a 6-volt battery so I can hook it up proper. See what else it needs. We gotta start it one more time though. Uh-oh, I pushed my luck. Oh, I've turned the power on. Now we'll start it one more time. And if I forgot to mention it, it's got a 1984 inspection on it and city sticker. So has it been sitting since '84? I don't know. I don't know if somebody was in the middle of working on it. I just don't know. But there's no way something that's been parked since '84 would not need the carb rebuild. It's 40 years. But there it is. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll see what's next. So you remember how that starter was turning pretty slow even though it was on 12 volts. I pulled it out and hooked it directly to the battery. Of course, you put the positive here, negative on the frame. And when I actuated it, I was only getting 7 volts out of here. I was on a 12 volt battery. So then I put it on the 6 volt battery, and I'm only getting like just under 3 volts. That's why that's not working. Pulled it apart, cleaned it, did everything I could. Still not working right. So fortunately, my man Joe had a brand new one in the box that he bought for his car. Didn't need. So now I have it. I'm going to put it in, see if we get a different result. I'm sure we will. Again, there's no room under there, so once it's in, I'll bring it back in and we'll see what happens. Okay, so this is weird. I put in the other starter. It's doing the exact same thing that this one did. So maybe this one wasn't bad. I don't know. So if I hit the ignition switch, nothing happens. If I use my push button thing, nothing happens. Which I don't understand that doesn't make any sense at all. But if I jump the 2 connections, engine turns over fine. So wondering what the heck is it? The ground? Is it the switch? What's going on? That doesn't make any sense. So I ran a wire from this terminal on the starter that's in the car straight up to the battery. Okay, so it's not the battery, it's not the ground, it's not the starter. So the next thing backwards in line is the ignition switch. But if I come to the front, I don't know if you can see that there, and just bypass the switch, tries to start. Come inside, bump the key, nothing. I think the ignition switch is bad. I have to see if I got another one and a key to go with it. Let me see what I got. Found another ignition switch in my stash of stuff. Got it wired in. Probably gonna take 2 hands here, but let's see what happens. Ha 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 ha! Alright. Cool. I only had a little bit of gas in there, that's why it shut off. Okay, great. We'll switch the ignition switch out. Move on to the next thing. I don't have a battery charger that can charge 6 volts. And I can't jump it with anything else. This is the only one I have. Only car I have that's 6 volt. So the only way I have to charge this is through the generator. But the generator, if you go by the inspection sticker, has been sitting idle for 40 years. Which means it's probably, it's going to need polarized. If you don't know what that is, it's worth a quick read. It's kind of interesting. It has to do with the magnetic fields inside or something very technical. I don't know exactly what it's all about, but I know it has to be done. So the way to do that is to hook the DF side to just the body, which is ground, body of the generator. The D plus side has to go to the battery. And when you do that, the generator should spin for, well, it should spin as long as you hold power to it. But you don't want to hold power to it long because it'll overheat. So let's see what happens when I put a little juice to it. That actually sounds a little grindy. I wonder if I'm going to need to do something about that. But we're going to let it slide for now. Alright, that should be enough. So as long as the generator still works, no reason it shouldn't, and the voltage regulator works, we should be charging our battery every time the engine runs. That's a good thing. So now we just put all this back, The next thing is going to be figuring out the fuel. Yeah, I'm going to have to take the tank out. Or at least open it up, and I'm going to have to deal with the tank. I'm sure the fuel lines need replaced. I never trusted old lines, and I'm not going to start today. Replace all the fuel lines, clean them, and this fuel pump's probably shot. So we're going to address the fuel next. Once we have the fuel, we have ignition. She should start up and run. And then we can adjust the timing and do all that stuff to make it run better. So, alright, fuel tank, here we go. The last one I had that I got, the hard line in the body was clogged from the front to the back, and I had to run a whole new line. Not impossible, just I didn't want to do it, and ended up having to, but that's the way it goes. And this is oh man, look at that. This looks like a brand new tank. Well, no. Oh, ugh. No, it smells like bad gas. But it's empty, and we're on the low side. We're gonna pull it out anyway, because we want to check the outlet nozzle thing on the bottom, and just makes it easier to get to the fuel line and the brake master cylinder and everything. I'm guessing I'm probably going to have something to do with that too. So get this thing cleaned out and get this tank out of here. Oh, look at that. Brand new pressure plate. I haven't even dug through this stuff yet. That right there's a 5. Hopefully I don't need it now, but when I do, there it is. Gross. Super gross. Glad I didn't pour gas right into the tank. That rubber hose sheared right off. But I kind of make it a habit to just replace those anyway. What am I looking for? Oh, the fuel line. The line. I think I'm gonna get a helper to hold the air hose here and spray while I check at the rear. But I need to disconnect the fuel pump first. Maybe a tripod or something. I think I'd have one by now. Get this off of here. Oh yeah. She's brittle. There we go. Alright, that'll be good enough just to see if something comes squirting out the end of there. Pour a little WD down the front. I'm ready, but I'm going to stand back because I think it's going to work. Give me a squirt. Yes! 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 Alright, thanks dude. Nope, we're done. Thank you, man.
Why can't you squirt the thing though?
See if this was clogged up or not.
Nah.
And it's not.
Alright, good.
Cool. Thanks, dude. Alright, got some new fuel line here, and way too much of it. Get this thing in place and cut off just enough that we can tilt the tank up and get to the inlet down there. I like to leave enough hose on that if I have to pull the tank, I don't have to take a wheel off to do it. So let me get you in position here. Alright, it's a little hard to see under here, but we got, can you even see that? What's going on? Oh, there we go. I think. Yeah, there it is. Got a new line going to the metal line that comes out by the motor, going right into the line that comes out on top of the frame board. Alright, so the last piece is the piece between the other end of that metal line and the fuel pump. Well, I almost caused myself a problem there because I forgot about the fuel filter. So I went ahead and put that one in, obviously, and just hooked this hose up. If the fuel filter fills, then obviously the pump's working. Put about a half a gallon of gas in the tank. That's all I had. I have a few drops left to drop in the carb, hopefully to give it enough to start up with. So battery's hooked up, fuel line's hooked up. Prop you up here somewhere where you can see fuel filter. Put a little gas in, give it a try. See if we feel any air coming out of there. Nope, nothing. Fuel pump shot. I think I have another one though, so let me go dig through my stuff. I have a Rubbermaid tote full of parts. And got a fuel pump. This is the same version that's on my bus. Oh, I was just going to say I could never remember which one's in and out, top or bottom, but it says in right on it, so that's cool. Okay, and I have a push rod tube in a bag in the box with the fuel pump. So I wonder if I bought these together as a spare. I wonder if this is the spare one for the bus. No. It's got a date on it, 7/20. So it's been, I don't know how long I've had it, but it's been around for 3 years. That was way too much gas. Let's see what happens. All right. Alright, nothing up to the carb yet. That's okay. But we don't need much. Nice. All right. One step closer. Well, this seems like a good place to go ahead and end the video. It starts, runs, and can move under its own power. Next up will probably be a tune-up, so it'll run better, and some brakes. No point in going if you can't stop. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.